Okay, for parties, first of all, we want to look at the organization. And for parties, we have party defined as an organization here who seeks to elect candidates to public office. So we're talking about an organization that will go about recruiting, trying to get people into office for their interests that they have. Okay, we have three different kinds in the organization of the party. We have the party in the electorate, that's all the people. We have the party in the government, which is those who are elected, whether it be our Utah or D Utah or whatever. And then we have the formal party organization. So, formal party organization, just make your little pyramid here. And we have at the bottom the local or grassroots level. And in our area they are called precincts. And a precinct would be about 1,000 voters in an area. Okay. Then we move up to the next level, which is the county level. And in many areas these are called wards. And we go to the next level, which is the state level. And at the very top is the national committee, headed by the national chair. So this political party structure is like a pyramid, the base being the most powerful because that is the grassroots level. Okay? Functions of parties is our next box. Parties, first and foremost, are a linkage institution. Meaning what? All right, they're linking the people to the government. Good. And they also raise money. They're a money-raising institution. They are a label. So people who don't know every candidate can use the Republican or Democratic label to help them identify the beliefs of a candidate they don't know. Because most people don't know who's running for county surveyor. Most people don't even know what a surveyor does. But yet, if he has an R by his name in most of the counties of Utah, he will be elected, whether he surveys Republican or Democrat. And how do you survey Republican or Democrat? I don't know that either. But anyway, provide a label. They also formulate the agenda. They put on the table the agenda that we need to follow. They recruit candidates, which is one of the biggest differences between them and interest groups. Interest groups don't do candidates. They also resolve conflict because they are a big tent that helps to resolve issues that might be polarizing with an interest group. Interest groups are narrow, parties are wider. They educate the people with information, and when they are not in power, they work as a watchdog to help make sure that we are governed well. Okay, so that is box number 2. Okay, let's go to box 3 on history. Differences. Well, let's do the differences and similarities here. They are similar in that both parties are a big tent. They are broad coalitions. They are also decentralized in their organization. In other words, the power is at the bottom. Those are similarities. And they are both semi-public, in that they're part private and they're part public. Now, differences occur in membership, and you have that handout that you want to look at to remind yourself. People who belong to the Democratic Party would live where? More big cities, urban areas. And on the coast, both coasts, east and west, and large cities. Whereas membership of the Republican Party would be where? Okay. Smaller towns, suburbs, Rocky Mountains, Midwest, all of that. Okay. Issues, divide them. And also in their organization. The Republicans are more organizational organized. They stress the organization of the whole party. Democrats are more representational. They want their party composed of the same type of diversity that the nation is. So they require so many percentages of minorities, so many percentages of women in their party. So those are similarities and differences. Okay, next question. Let's go to the next box. Are parties in decline, or what is the effects on the system of parties? What's happening to parties? Are they increasing in power or decreasing? And how do we judge the power? Go back here. Remember, we have our linkage institutions here, and we have what is called the zero-sum game. What does that mean, Joel?
The zero-sum game? That whenever somebody gains power, somebody else has to lose power.
All right, so nobody can gain power without somebody losing. So we have the people and all these items over here. We have the parties over here. We have the media, the elections, and we also have the interest groups. There's only so much power here. So if interest groups gain power, what has to happen to somebody else? They lose power. So, what are parties doing in this equation here? Are parties in decline, or are they coming back in power? All right. Why?
Because they don't formulate the agenda as much as they used to, probably.
Why?
Because the media and the interest groups do that.
All right. So, interest groups now are starting to form the agenda. So you look at the functions of parties back here. They were raising money. Can candidates get money from other linkage institutions?
Yes.
Yes. So we look here at can people over here in Congress get money from interest groups? Yeah. So if they're getting money from interest groups, what does that say about their need for parties getting them money? Okay. Can they get money from the media? Or a medium? What about websites?
Yeah.
What about the internet?
Yes.
Can they get money outside the party structure through the internet and through a website? So what does that say about parties? As far as money raising? Going down. So media and the internet, which is one of the medium, and interest groups are taking part of that function away. And so parties are losing power in their money making. So are parties losing power anywhere else? What about educating? Can you get information about elections and education somewhere else? Yeah. Media and interest groups are doing that too. You can go on a website and find out the information yourself. You don't need to go to a party. Okay. What about a watchdog? Is somebody taking the watchdog away from parties? Yeah. So we're losing power here, parties are losing power here. Does anybody else recruit candidates? Not so much, not so much. Parties still retain that power. Interest groups might say, go run for office, but parties are the ones that recruit. Formulating agenda? Yeah, same thing. So, parties are kind of our weak person. And remember, what caused parties to lose their ability to give unlimited money to candidates? That's good. The 2002 Campaign Finance Act. That put hard money limitations on parties. So now before you could give unlimited money to parties who could give unlimited money to candidates. Now they said parties had to be limited. So did that help parties become stronger? Hardly. So parties who were already weak with the hard money limits became even weaker. So all these others gained as parties lost. Now, you look at elections. Have elections affected parties? Who used to choose the candidates at their national convention? Party leaders. They had the big convention there, and they went through ballot after ballot and chose their campaign, chose their candidate for president. Now, how have elections affected that party function? Right, so we choose the presidential candidates through primary elections now. And we don't have the convention. All the convention now is a pep rally. And so, again, even elections have taken power away from parties. So when we look at institutions here, parties are the weak man, or as they call it, the sick man of Europe, or the sick man of America here. They're going down because of all these other functions that have been taken away. All right, our last box over here. Let's talk about reform here. Reform of parties, we have this is box 5 here. We have the 2002 Campaign Finance Act. Okay? 2002 Campaign Finance Act. That did what to parties? All right, put hard money limits on parties. Okay. Then we have the case of Citizens United versus the FEC. Did that affect parties? Okay. How?
Was it by saying free speech, you can contribute as much money as you want?
Okay, who could you give unlimited money to?
Candidates, right?
Not candidates. You had your 2,500 limit or whatever it is now for inflation. All right, independent groups, which we now call super PACs. All right, we can give unlimited money to super PACs.
And they can give.
We can only give a hard money limit to parties. What's this going to do to parties? Again, going down in power. Because you can have an independent campaign and give unlimited money, but to parties, you have hard money limits. Okay? Another part of parties is that parties are more polarized right now. Especially like the Republican Party is being influenced by groups that are far right, whether it be the Tea Party group, that's moving the Republican Party more conservative. And you leave in the middle of the groups not too many. And the same thing if the Democratic Party were moving more to the right. When you move to the middle of the spectrum, that's where parties get most of the voters. So in other words, to sum up box 5, party influence has decreased dramatically, and parties really don't have as much power now as they did back 50 years ago because of all the other linkage institutions. All right, last box is our lightning round. We want to put Republicans on one side of the box and Democrats on the other. And we'll look at where the differences are. So we'll put region on the Republican sides, put rural, Midwest, and South. We'll go to the other side of the box, put cities, coasts, and the Northeast. Okay, we go to socioeconomics. Republicans appeal to the what? The richer class. The Democrats appeal to the poor, the less income. Occupation-wise is our next one. Republicans appeal to white-collar workers and business-affiliated workers. Over on the Democratic side, we have the blue-collar workers, those involved working with their hands in the service industries. Also the new class. What's the new class? You remember that? Those are the people who work for government, the new class. And labor unions. Those are on the Democrats. Okay, religion is our next Republican-Democrat difference. If you're a Republican, you go to church more frequently. So put frequent worshiper. You go to Democrat, that is infrequent worshiper. Race and gender, next one. Race in general, white males for Republicans. Over on Democrats, African American and females. African Americans are the most reliable component of the Democratic Party. They vote almost 80 to 90% Democratic every time. So they're one of the most reliable of the Democrats. And then finally, education. For Republicans, you have a college education, and for Democrats, you have a high school or less. Also, you have intellectuals, those who are super smart, PhDs type of thing. They would be on the Democrats. All right, so that will do us for today. We've got the whole front of our thing done. Tomorrow, we'll move to the back and do interest groups and the media.